Good afternoon, VV Nation. Happy Friday, everybody. Let's see. It looks like Badger got the first comment today. Good morning, Badger, VV Nation. Kara, good morning as well. Hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas. Pennywise, whole lot of you as well. All right. See here. It's just me solo running it today. Clay and Joey are off today, obviously for the Christmas holiday. All right, give it just a moment here. I know the alert will be popping up in just a second. Let's see here. All right. See here. Make sure the alert hit, because it looks like. All right. All right, should be hitting here any second. I set the alert today, so hopefully that hit. I was wondering why the views were so low right now. Give me just a moment here. All right, there's the alert. Looks like it was just a little bit delayed. Just a moment here. All right, yep. Who needs a producer when you with your talent? Just roll along. All right. So everyone is making their way to the room. Just want to make sure it doesn't. Talent doesn't matter if people can't make their way to the room, right? But in case you just tuned in, it's just me today. I got no Clay, no Joey, so running everything in the background here. Just made sure the alert had a hit. But I'll be honest with you. Look at the major indices, right? Probably very little volume. You see, they're not moving much today, right? Everything's slightly down. I see the Dow Jones. I saw some of the smaller companies. I know UAMY was running this morning. Iron touched the 40-day. I want to be, me personally, I'm not going to be jumping in today. Not a lot of volume. There's some quick trades that make sense. Hey, is what it is. But look at that's it right there. VectorVest advocates caution when buying stocks at this time. And I've been saying this for the last 2 weeks now. The confirmed call signal is still down. And to see it down for over a month, that is a major warning signal for me personally. And seeing the BSR below 1 this long, because we had price action of the VectorVest composite 2 weeks in a row to the upside with a little rally shortly after Nvidia's earnings. But the BSR never got above 1, right? So just realize that, if you're trading, if you're investing right now, if you're buying, selling, whatever, maybe probably not selling a whole lot, just because I know a lot of people are going to wait till after the first of the year, which is kind of my concern right now, why the market's not selling off, right? Let's see here. Hi, the SLV is flying high today. Hey, why do you think I got in my 2026 portfolio? And actually, I wish I had Joey here, so we'll just have to do this via the comment section. Glenn did not put silver or gold stocks in his portfolio, and he's got 2 spots left if we want to make it, even kind of 10-10 positions. So if you think he should be holding gold and silver in 2026, put a yes, put a Y, right? If you think he should just do his picks and we shouldn't give him any gold and silver, we can do a portfolio both way. A little bit of gold and silver in there, one, just his picks. But if you think that's a good idea, hit yes. Put a Y in the comment section. If you think it's a bad idea, put no, and obviously we can always make that disclaimer that, Glenn clearly wasn't thinking about gold or silver for those type of picks. Yes. So there's one yes. And I'm actually going to see him tomorrow. He's getting a haircut in the morning. Probably a good thing. I don't want to see him all rough. Better tighten up if I'm coming to visit. But he's getting a haircut tomorrow morning. I'll ask him. But it looks like we're getting some yeses, some ones across the board here. That makes sense. So I'll get his opinion on it tomorrow. About that. And one thing before we get really into the VectorVest software that I found very interesting, because I put in the gold. I didn't do a silver one, but I said if gold and silver roll off, because they've done it before. We look at the big chart since the 70s. I looked at some key levels there. So if you missed that part of the video, I'd go back to that part of the video because it's very basic chart pattern formations. But personally, with this fact coming into play here, interesting. For the first time in nearly 3 decades, since 1996, global central bank gold reserves have surpassed the total value of their U.S. Treasury holdings in 2024, 2025, driven by massive gold accumulation by central banks. I don't see this stopping. I don't see it stopping. That's just a personal opinion. It's not a VectorVest opinion, but I don't see it stopping. And why would it stop? I don't see any reasons why it should stop. Say hello to Glenn for me. It would be great to see him in Tampa. Man, Mike, that would be good, bud. be honest with you, that would be a Christmas miracle in itself. Again, I need him to focus on his health. So hopefully, at some point he can come back here. And honestly, I'm really, focused on his health right now because full disclosure, I did spend a lot of my Christmas in the emergency room. Not for me, but for a loved one, high blood pressure issues, which, if you know the story of Glenn and everything going on, obviously that had me worried over the last 2 days. So that's why I did not do the daily color guard report on Wednesday because I just found out that news. But I'm going to do it today. I got 3 live streams. We got this one. We got Power Hour after this in the community room. And then we got Timing the Market at 3:55 normal time. 3:55 normal time. Glenn needs gold and silver. Hey, I like the yeses. I'm just going to double check with him tomorrow. And if he says yes, we can add him some gold and silver. And honestly, I like the route that I chose. I know it was very simple just because, it's a 2026 portfolio. I don't need to make it too complicated for you guys. But hey, just a simple, half gold, half silver, half SLV, half GLD, and then I put a miner in there, a good miner. That trade made sense. I'm actually curious to what Orlo's doing. So if you put Orlo in the comment section, I'll put that as an honorable mention here. Goodness, hope all is okay with loved one. Thank you, Kara. Thank you. Yeah, it was just a crazy holiday, a good holiday. Got to see friends and family. Got to make it to an excellent mass. Did an old school Catholic midnight mass. That was good. I haven't been to a midnight mass in a while. Do you believe excessive selling happens as the 2025 tax season comes to an end? Many traders, funds, etc., are taking gains or losses. Well, I do know if you sell today, you're going to have to pay the tax man a lot sooner than if you were to sell, just a week from now. So I just use it as that logic, right? Use it as that logic. And then other than just, some Santa rally hopes, it's not been a very good Santa rally. So we'll see what happens when volume, real volume ticks back into the market because, holidays, not a lot of volume, right? Do you believe excessive selling happened? That's a good question. I wouldn't be surprised if you create a little chop, right? And based on that chop, the market might make a decision one way or the other, right? You got to ask yourself, where would funds be more likely to take profits, right? Where were they going to take profit? Where would you take profits going into next year? I'm sure you're probably a bunch of people thinking about taking profits, right? It's only 2.5 days of the Santa. Correct. Yeah. Going off of that basis of the Santa rally, yes. Being the 2 holiday weeks, can you go through what needs to happen to get confirmed up? Yes, we most certainly can here. Other than the price action rising week over week for 2 consecutive weeks, and look at the trend column. This is going to be your first inclination, per se, that we're going to head that direction, potentially, right? It's going to be the primary wave up signal, right? We've had that up since December 22nd here. That's the first week of positive movement in the price action VectorVest composite, right? So we're just looking for the second week. And if you look at it, we're heading that direction. We're actually lower than we were December 22nd. So we're waiting on that price action of the second week. And ultimately, we're waiting on the health of the market. That's what messed it up last time, right? The BSR, buy-sell ratio. Being a swing trader, I take profits when the chart tells me. Jerry, that's how I do it, bud. That's how I do it. Oh, not necessarily how everyone does it, because I know a lot of people will make decisions, based off of tax reasons, and makes sense. But yeah, Bill, it's the health of the market, man. It's the health of the market. The BSR is above 1. That's what I'm saying. If you are trading this, swing trading, or whatever you may be doing right now, just know that the overall health of the market is not necessarily there. The RT, definitely more favorable than the BSR, coming at 0.94, right? So relatively neutral, slightly to the downside, right? Slightly in unfavorable territory. But the MTI going above 1, underlying trend back above 1, DEW still intact. Those are the 2 items right now that are giving me some optimism, at least in the short term, right? I'm going to play the market as the market comes. I don't try to predict the market. That's usually where people make mistakes, right? All right, but just look at the declines right now. Even though the market's pretty flat, we can scroll back up here in a second. The declines, 56%. The advance is only at 32%. Look at the unchanged, actually. Pretty heavy, 10% right now. Look at the major indices. Slightly changed to the downside, right? Not a whole lot of optimism there. Remember, today is Boxing Day, major shopping and sports day in Commonwealth nations, but fun for everyone. Nice. Tech stocks with strong earnings should rally. John, if that hasn't been the message over the last few weeks, the value, tonight's video, guess what? We're focused on value, and we're going to use the market Launchpad platform as well for some of their charting capabilities. But look, tech stocks with strong earnings should rally. I like Micron, TSM, GROQ, TQ, QQ. Yeah, if you want to leverage it, that's up to you. But Micron, TSM, Google, guess what? Other than just strong earnings, what is nice about those companies, right? Depending on the day, TSM, Google, fairly valued, undervalued. I have to see what it is. Micron, greatly undervalued. I think the value, find value in tech. And usually the value is going to give you strong earning picks, right? When you look at some of those companies that came up, even, a strategy that I haven't talked about a while, but really pushing it over the last week here. Go to the NASDAQ 100 watch list, resort price divided by value. It gives you a sense where you can find the best value picks in the NASDAQ 100. And there's a couple additional steps you could take, like making sure sales growth rates outpacing earnings growth rate, make sure earnings is still rising, things of that nature. But generally speaking, it's going to put you in a great spot, right? All right, let's get into it here. Let me clear this chat. All right. But yeah, the DEW still intact. Major indices not there. So let's see here. Let's go stock pick ideas. Let's take a look at some stocks. What pops up here? Oh, not sure why I'm getting forbidden here. Interesting. That's not going to work out well. All right. You know what I have to do? I'm going to have to switch over to VV7 then. See, let me get VV7 up real quick. Sorry about that. I didn't expect a little bug there. And with no one helping me today, I'm not going to be logging out and logging back in. So we're going to jump right over to VectorVest 7 here. There we go. Move the chat over here. I do like Nvidia, Pennywise. I do like Nvidia. Let's see here. There we go. All right, 120. There we go. Let's get into it here. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know why. Because normally that causes when you're logged into both. But I checked on the computer. I wasn't logged in on the app. So we'll just go this route. We'll just go this route today. All right, let's get to it. You can see the major indices here slightly to the downside. As far as the color guard, we still got the primary up. We still got the DEW up signal. So some optimism there. All right. It's a slow grind. I forgot who said it, but someone called it the Crumpus rally. That's a pretty good one. That's interesting here. All right. Let's create let's do this. Let's go into some fish here. Since we're in a VV7, let's do this. Let's do trends crossover. Let's do RT bullish. I'm going to scoot this over here. Look, I'm flying today. All right, so this is the Unisearch part of the program on VectorVest 7. Came over to your folder. Essentially, if you think about RT relative timing, right? Looks at the short-term price trend. I've said it before. If you're not a chart reader, if you don't know all the candlesticks and chart formations and all the technical stuff, sometimes just having RT on a chart can really pick up what's happening in the back. Without you having the vision to see it all. So we're going to take a look at these charts right here and see if there's some fish, right? And actually, why don't we do this? We can modify these searches if you don't already know. Do time of search, do stock, price, value. All right. So not only are we looking at any guidance on BE, give me a moment. We could definitely take some stock picks here for sure. But as far as this one here, look at this. We got iShares China large cap. Interesting. Morgan Stanley, Finwise, Leonard. Let's graph these. Some of these are pretty big today too. Now this looks like an interesting one. Utility play. A little bit of gap fill action here. Looks like. Let's move this over. Let's switch this to the VectorVest simple layout. So there's the RT relative timing just crossing back above 1. As soon as it crosses back above 1, look, we started the gap fill. We started a gap fill here. I like this. Undervalued. That's a utility company. For utility company, go from 52 to 44. Something must have happened there for sure. Let's see here. 6 months. Is this around earnings? Okay, it was around earnings. Interesting. See what else is on this list. I don't like the earnings per share. RT's going back above 1, but still choppy here. Almost looks like it's a big rollover. We'll see what happens. I wonder what the value is. It's undervalued. Oh, look at this. Was overvalued, but now value showing some opportunities here. This is a financial management company. Here is large cap China. RT just dipping above 1. This might be an interesting little setup here. You can see a nice level of support. Bounced off of this last time. Little wick at the top. Not a bad move. Maybe put a trend line on top of these. See if it breaks it here in the near future. Not liking this one. Not necessarily liking that one. Finwise Bank Corp. Here's another one consolidating quite a bit, but look at the value taken off. Earnings per share. I mean, the earnings per share forecasted was less than $1. We're not far from where we were a year ago, but now the earnings per share is $1.75. So almost twice as much earnings per share, roughly the same price. Now, this is a light penny stock here, but look at the value taken up here. Interesting. Up 30 cents. Everyone's talking about the penny stocks. Well, not everybody, but I know a lot of people to mention penny stocks here. Maybe want to, do some research on this one. See what's taking that value up. And look at the earnings per share. I mean, look at this. Undervalued. See, value dropped. Didn't do a whole lot. It's coming back now. Wonder what happened here. Interesting. Not enough volume there. All right, these are not volumed out. Let's try trends and new stuff. Value and price rising. New buy. Let's try this one. LAES. I could take a look at LAES in a little bit. That could be honorable mention. I like LAES. And that quantum stuff, man, it's quantum resistant semiconductors. And I'm going to throw this out right now. There's a video coming, a real good video. And if you're holding this stock, I'm going to only say the stock one time today. Light. Lumentum Holdings. I know I haven't been on the Lumentum gravy train, but I tell you what, all my research when it comes to gallium nitride and photonics, POET, Navi, all that crazy stuff, Lumentum's ahead of the game when it comes to photonics. The more research I do, they are going to be a powerhouse from what I'm seeing. I know I think it's overvalued right now. It's like I said, it's not a stock I track, but it came in my research this morning, and I like what I see when it comes to light. So we could take a look at the chart here in a few. But the technology that they're doing, it's phenomenal. I don't want to speak on it too much. Like I said, I've only done a little bit of research. When I get more confidence, you're probably going to see a Photonics video come out. So you can imagine some of the stocks that might be on there. I got into Rocket Lab when it was a penny stock territory. Dang, Pennywise, did you? That's good, man. That's a home run. That's more than a home run. You just broke the baseball bat and everything. Penny stocks are Bill. I saw your comment, Bill. But did you get the point of the video? That HIFO or LIFO, so I pretty much said it was crap. That's why, it's got a big upper wick. don't chase those type of stocks. If you want some real potential to find some bags, when it comes to penny stocks, got to think about it a little bit more logically rather than just chasing hype. The value, earnings per share, things of that nature, and low price stocks, always good things to look at. Sales growth rate, and hey, if it turns into a hype stock, just know where to put your stop in it and take your profits and run, right? All right, let's see here. But as far as these stocks, let's take a look at these here. A lot of ETFs. Maybe we're seeing a lot of that's kind of interesting. We're seeing a lot of ETFs here. Let's do this. Let's do time of search. Actually, if ETFs are coming in the list, maybe they're coming in the list for a reason. Maybe people want to diversify, right? Let's see what they're doing here. Let's graph these. Let's not change it. Emerging markets bull, 3 times leverage. Probably going to say that's probably not a bad trade. Not a bad trade, honestly. And I've barely been debating on my 10th pick and emerging market funds. I have to do my research on this one. But essentially, that might be my 10th pick. Let me know in the comment section if you like that idea or not. But that might be my 10th pick. I'm not saying this ETF, but some kind of emerging market fund. Doing a little research, see what necessarily might be the best one, right, for 2026. But I'm liking it. Light also could be on the 2026 10th pick list. I got to do, like I said, I do a little more research. Understanding photonics and the semiconductor industry is not something you can do in a couple weeks here. Most of my art shop were bought from $3 to $19. Nice. But yeah, as far as stocks, we can get this. LQDA had 999 sales growth rate. Ooh, hey, down that sales growth rate. Dr. Toledo, don't quote me on the year, but he wrote an article about Nvidia. This was many years ago. If I throw out a random day, I want to say maybe pre-COVID, like right before COVID. But he was talking about the power of sales growth rate when it came to finding stocks. But I'll have to find that article. It's very interesting, and how he tied it into trying to find the next Nvidia, right? Looking at earnings growth rate, looking at sales growth rate. And hey, considering value, obviously, might make that a little safer. I can understand getting overvalued positions, but there's got to be something there that gets me excited. The sales growth rate, earnings growth rate, maybe RV above 1. Maybe just a little life and value, right, ticking up. But something's got to get me excited. I don't like Ryan. Can VectorVest look into adding KDF to the system? It's an ETF. Oh, interesting. KDEF. Let me write that one down. DEF. I like that. Interesting. March silver's up 7%, but I don't see it stopping. My personal opinion, again, it's not a VectorVest opinion, but as long as our national debt clock keeps ticking up, gold and silver going to be just all right. Gold and silver going to be all right. Now, if you see that national debt start go down way a lot, I'll be the first to tell you. Trimming some gold and silver may not be a bad idea, right? But we ain't in that situation, right? Keeps going up. So as long as it keeps going up, I'm going to be bullish on commodities, right? All right, but look at this one. EDM bull, I like it. That's just got to buy, fresh buy. Investment objective, closed-end fund. I'm not really sure. I like that. Smooth, lower left, upper right. RT staying above 1. Matthews, Korea, active MKOR. Speaking of Korea, I know you just mentioned that one. Roger says, you see it going down. You're in the afterlife. Are you talking about the debt? Why do you think central banks are running across there? Why do you think central bank gold buying is now outpacing U.S. treasuries? It's a problem, right? Why do you think I want my mom to be holding gold and silver? Why do you think I think her financial advisor is an idiot for not doing it already? She has no exposure to gold and silver. I got to fix that. Trust me. If it dips, I will make sure she gets in there. A very calculated dip. But other than this, so we got Korea, we got Grizzle growth. I don't know what this is, but I do like that price action. That's lower left, upper right. Honestly, you probably just make a little channel here. Ping when you're supposed to ping. Look at that. Look at that. That's a perfect channel there. If you want easy trades from my swing traders, I love an ascending channel for swing trading. It's just the easiest thing. DBB. lower left, upper right. Look at this buy rating starting to come in effect here. This Invesco DB commodity futures. Again, I'm not surprised that commodities and emerging markets are going to do well right now. Europe ETF, not as nice as that the emerging market one, but look, it's starting to tick up to the upside. And then this one also, if I had to guess, might have just broke its ascending channel. It did, right? It's trying to find support. You might get a little parabolic move. We've got a couple retest, weakening the upper trend line here of this ascending channel. Maybe take out this high. Takes out this high. It's not a very moving stock, though. It went from 48.52. It's not a very volatile stock, so I don't expect too much of a parabolic move. I'm not really going to be much of a buyer here right at the top of the channel. I'd have to see a little bit more confirmation. All right, let's get in here. Let's go to your picks. It's Christmas. I'm not going to go off the likes today because we got a power hour at 2 o'clock today. 2 o'clock. And EU countries are beginning to buy South Korean weapons, such as Poland's recent purchase. Oh, no. South Korea is becoming a formidable, what would you call that? Weapons industrial nation. I don't know what you would call that, but I see it. No, they are, other than the United States, they are really stepping in to sell weapons to Europe. I've seen it, Pennywise. I've seen it. All right, let's get over here. Let's take some of your picks here. That's one stock per person. We're going to do 25 stocks. I'm not going to go off the likes today because we just celebrated Christmas and other holidays around this time. So let's have some fun. Let's just do power hour. Let's just do power hour here. Great new watch list. And as of right now, go ahead and type in the symbols. The first 25 coming across. We'll start with Bills, SLV. I see that. Or Rogers got Rolls Royce. Let's see here. Was it 1226? There's not that many, so we'll try to get all these. We'll start with this one. AT. Arms dealers. Yeah, Bill, I guess I wasn't trying to say arms dealer on the VectorVest live stream. Yeah, I guess you could say arms dealer. Arms dealers would be the appropriate term, right? But more than arms dealer, I mean, they're manufacturer. They're becoming a manufacturing powerhouse of arms. I guess you got to, and you got North Korea right above you. Much of a choice. Iona? You talking about IO and Q, maybe? I think you're talking about IO and Q. I think that's right. IO and Q. Toast. Oh, Toast. I'll tell you right now, I still serve part-time, sometimes great money. Toast has got pretty much a monopoly in every restaurant I've ever seen when it comes to their POS system. Nothing, no one else is doing anything else. I mean, Toast is just taking it over. TVTX, 10X, UNMY, ISSC, AMAT. Kiwi, is yes a stock? Is that what you're talking about? Or did you say yes? Fix. Arms dealer / manufacturer. Oh, yes, Roger Ricey. I think I was thrown off because you actually typed it out. That was interesting. I like that, though. Said yes. Thank you, Kiwi. All right, I got 18. I got room for 7 more stocks. Who wants 7 more? And in the meantime, I get those 7 more. Let's just take a look at the contest again. 2026 portfolio. I do like full transparency. Don't make any financial investments off of these, please. You can see going into the new year, looks like a little bit of buffer here, but guess what? Your boy still got a lot of cash, right? I still got a lot of cash I can deploy positions in. I got great entries, I think, in all my stocks here. I mean, look, they're all up on the ROI. So if the market decides to roll over after the January, why do you think I got cash, right? I said it before. I'm either going to buy in some calculated pivots on the dips, or I'm buying in momentum and the strength, right? Because I only got 2 weeks. 2 weeks to finish it. So don't make your decisions based on what I'm doing, because it's interesting. It's actually pretty cool. I've never done this before, but to fill an entire portfolio have to be filled with 4 weeks, and 2 of them being holidays pretty much. So it'll be interesting, but hey, about 5%. I can't complain so far. We'll see, right? See what the market does. Look at Glenn here doing up 2%, and he's still got a lot of cash, right? He's got 80,000 still almost 30,000 there. So he's still got a lot of cash too. And these are his positions right now. His Oracle, I've got up to almost 7,000. That's one of the most filled positions. I know he's trying to, bottom dip on the Oracle there, and it was pretty close to it. Again, only had a couple weeks to make a decision here, but I got some cash left in these. So again, I could continue buying in strength, or if they dip back, is what it is. I'll look for calculated pivots, right? But these are phenomenal. I like them so far here. I like them so far. All right, let's see here. But up 5%. I'm still playing with only half my cash. I like that. I like that. If you're in UAMY, kudos to you. That was my Christmas present to you. Pretty much told everybody the dang trade. If you didn't want to do it, hey, that's fine. It's not for everybody, but if you're there, we can take a look at that one. Actually, we are. It's in the list, so I'll give you my opinion there. All right, we need 7 more here. So what do we got? We got CLS, Glue. What's Glue? Interesting. I like stocks. I don't know. Alibaba. Interesting. Thank you, Roy. Thank you. And hey, I tried. I swear I got the message right here on my phone. I tried to message my cousin, return the favor of a good stock on UAMY. And I was like, don't worry about it. Oh, I sent him a screenshot. He missed 50%. I was like, well, you help me all the time in my semiconductor questions, picks or whatever, what's hot. Oh yeah, I'll widen this. I was going to add some more if I widen it because it likes to jump right back to where it was. Let's see here, JPM. Oh, LAES, duh. That's the other one. All right, 23 it is. Let's do it. First thing I want to do is scroll over to the left. Let's sort by price. Oh, man. All right, most undervalued company. And this one's Brinker International, Cinex, Pan American Silver Corp. Oh, I like it. Nvidia, JPM. Tell you right there, that upwards, if you're holding those stocks and you already got a little buffer zone in them, I like it. I like it. ISSC, that made my 2026 portfolio. How do I... Roger, every time I added it, bud. You ain't got to do no super chat, man. Rolls Royce, right? Roger, yeah. I think so. What stock you talking about, Roger? Was it Rolls Royce? Bought CX back in April. Talk about a steady climb. Which one's CX here? Oh, we got 23 found. So 3 not on here. Let's graph these since there's quite a few stocks. Eat. I'm not gonna lie, it's not too bad. We're really just getting back into my consolidation zone we had up here. A little bit of resistance. Not really gotten. I don't see that much confidence in the zone. You see a lot of bottom wicks though. Don't really want to get out of the bottom of the zone either. But look at that value climbing. Look at price climbing. I like this actually. We're valuing the stock 226, rising earnings per share. RT just back above 1. Interesting. Would buying ISSC right now be a good time to buy? We could take a look at it, but I don't think necessarily anything's necessarily the best time to buy right now. No ANNP. Oh, okay. Sorry about that, bud. AN. Oh, 2 Rogers. Maybe that's what confused him. Like I said, it was a crazy holiday. If you just tuned in after the fact, just a heads up, I've been in the emergency room last 2 days. No, not me, but a loved one. Blood pressure issues, and obviously, if you know the story of Glenn and everything, that's going to be way heavy on my heart. But I'm going to see Glenn tomorrow, though. Just a heads up. I also talked about that earlier. So I will see Glenn tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's see your graph. Wait, nope. Viewers, graph all. There we go. Now we got all the stocks here. I like it. Look at this. Breakout. Look at the retest here. But that's a clockwork retest. Clockwork retest. Break retest. Confirmation is obviously going to be breaking out here. I don't know why I got a line up there. Was there something? I'm not really sure. I have a line up here. Unless the graph skewed. But yeah, you can see the consolidation here. Take out the prior high. And we get a little rejection here. Might be taking a little breather. We'll see what happens. But earnings per share still right. It's silver. I'm not too worried about it. Look at the value taking off, right? The only thing I will say, as far as gold and silver stocks, one thing I am looking at right now is just sales. Sales growth rate. Let's take a look here. Sales growth rate still heavy, double digits. We did take a look at this one. Just struggling back in the previous consolidation zone. Struggling at the bottom end of it. Synex, let's see here. What do we got? Oh, look at that. Why overthink it, people? Why overthink it? Look at you just got to continue the lines. Look at all you got to do is continue the lines. And boom, look at that. Perfect entry. See, ascending channel. It's like the easiest thing to trade or make money in. That's why I like stocks in ascending channels. And if they're undervalued, chasing value, I love it, right? But what am I going to say? What's going to be my next part of this story, right? Look for the retest at this channel, right? Look for the retest. You know, if you want to shave a little bit off while the price is high right now, get back in at the retest. Probably not a bad idea. Let's see here. Let's look at the candlesticks today. Be careful, because if it keeps going down, we're about halfway through the body of this candlestick. We could have a dark cloud cover. But again, I'm not seeing that right now. Still way too early. But ultimately, yeah, I will look for a retest right here on this line at some point. If you're a trader, you know, do what you will. But if you're an investor, you know, see what, you know, there's other implications as well as far as selling. Here's Pan American Silver. This looks good. Again, just chasing value and actually freehand line here. Roughly speaking, oh, it's a little crooked. Make it straighter. Right there. Ba, ba, ba. And if I do a little line like this, yeah, so we're about right where our target zone is. I like it. I'm not going to chase silver right now. There's a lot of momentum there. I still like the stock. Ooh, that's a good one. We got a little gap here. Let's go back to the 3 month. Still looks good. It's chasing value. If you want to get a little crazy with technicals, you can overthink it. But gold and silver, they're doing what we want them to do right now. Moving up. Here's Nvidia. What I like about this, Nvidia fairly valued, right? Technicals need a breather. Hey, that's fair. I get it. But now technicals got a breather. Values now jumping up over 240. And look at price making its way out of this consolidation zone here. You see another level of resistance right here. Pretty strong level of resistance as well. Let's see if we can break above that. That's going to be the real test of it, I guess, around 195. Maybe slightly higher. Call it 196. JP Morgan. Go to 1 year. It's a steady Eddie chart. Undervalued. RT remains above 1. EPS above 1. It's not a bad core holding, right? Probably not a swing trader stock, but as far as a core holding, can't be mad at it. Look at the sales growth rate. It's faltering 4%. So keep that in mind. Everything else looks good. Look at this. Value rocketing back to the upside, actually surpassing its prior swing high here. I like this. And if I'm looking for a retest, it's going to be right there easily all day around this area. Probably around 230. Right now we're at 248. You know, maybe you star search something if you want to keep the momentum going. Otherwise, if you have some patience, I'd probably look closer, around in the low 230s. Here's ISSC. Yeah, I'm glad I bought it when I did last week. Holy moly. Look at the value also. Jumping up with price. And those are fresh. Oh, yeah, that's a fresh earnings report. Fresh data here. Sending the stock higher. Yeah, I'm not liking this upper wick right now. You can see the resistance right here. I'm not surprised it decided to stop right there. We got a big upper wick. I look for a little bit more of a discount. You got a little swing high area here. Maybe a little zone. Might not be a bad area to look at. That's probably going to put you around, 17 and some change right in there. But overall, look at the earnings per share, rocking and rolling. RT doing a great job getting us early in on the stock. That's phenomenal. I like the stock a lot. I mean, the value, earnings per share. Vanguard International High Dividend. You have to take a look at what the dividend is here. But look at the chart. That's a nice steady Eddie for what? 65, 70 bucks. to now 90. So almost up 50% here. It looks like you're getting a dividend as well. Nice steady Eddie price action. Other than the tariff concern, you can see it dropped greatly here. Everything else looks good. Silver. Phenomenal. There's 5 years. Let's go far back as we can with silver. Let's just see something here. This is what I've been talking about in gold, Bitcoin, silver. It likes to move in these little cup and handles here, right? If you haven't picked up on that yet, look at these charts in the long term. Oh, guys. Our target might just be off the Richter scale. Off the Richter scale. Yeah, I'm still going to be bullish on silver. Boil? Well, that's not. Let's go back to 6 months here. Who keeps putting boil in the natural gas? I'm not a natural gas trader. You know, you're probably better off looking at 3 and 8 or something like that. Look at the news. Looking at this here, I will say you got consolidation. Boom, boom. You broke it, and you're back into the consolidation, but more so, look at this line here. Yeah, see what happens here. Because I will take out this prior swing high. A lot of resistance here, so just be careful. But this is where I would be looking at. It was about $26, $27 would be around the zone I'd look at for resistance. See if we break above that. But it's hard for me to get excited about natural gas when it comes, you know, because I know seasonality, weather, and stuff. But we just had the warmest Christmas on record here in Charlotte. I was on a boat yesterday with t-shirt on. Any good ideas for Ryan? Please. What is this? What is going to stop the gold and silver rally? I don't know what's going to stop the gold and silver rally. Actually, until people decide they don't want to buy it anymore, I guess. But here's fix. Look at this fix here. 1 year. Value price rising. I mean, it just knocks through every little support I get. I like it. As long as that value keeps ticking, I like it. You can see every time, you know, price gets below values, usually a little bit better deal. RT, the trend is weakening a little bit. Actually went below 1 for just a second. So just be careful with this one. But I still like it. It's nice steady Eddie. Lower left, upper right for the last few months. It's like 9 months, actually. Netflix, where are we at with Netflix? I started me in Glenn's position in Netflix. You know, obviously we had to rush it because I only got a couple weeks to fill these, but we still got some money left. You know, if you have some patience, I don't want to be in a necessarily a rush to jump into Netflix. I mean, here's the trend line. Look at that. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, is that a descending channel? You son of a gun. You son of a gun. You might be in a descending channel right now. We'll find out. We'll see what this rally is. Short-lived. Looks like it might get above 100. Depends how long it takes the candlesticks to start moving up a little bit. But not necessarily what you want to be in right now with Netflix, right? Now, if this channel takes us below value and you start taking nibbles, that makes a little bit more sense, right? But I'm going to be in a rush to be getting into Netflix if we got a descending channel here. But just be careful. Just be careful. I just like it as a discount. I mean, it's always traded at a premium right now, or not right now. Right now, you get a fair price. But here soon, you might be able to get it at Netflix undervalued, which if we screw this back here, doesn't seem like that's happened in a while, right? So I like that idea. I like that idea. And there it goes. Here's CLS. Nice lower left, upper right. I like the move there. I like this move. Look at this CLS. Ooh. Look at that bottom wick, right? I like that. Not much follow through. If anything, these are good stocks. We try to make sure the market keeps its act together. Here's AMAT. Again, undervalued opportunities, right? But look at this. Value keeps declining. AMAT keeps rising. I don't really know. The sales growth rate just went negative. At least, yeah. I mean, this makes sense here. Value rising, price rising, met value, but now value is declining and price still keeps rising. Be careful with that one. I just feel like the easier setup was back here. Here, you have to see what the news, what the hype is on the stock. Why are investors thinking they could pay a premium for it? All right, here's UAMY. Story of the hour, right? I'm just going to tell you what you're looking at right now. Actually, we'll just change the layout, make it easier. Pivot off the 200 day, right? Look for rejection here at the top of the channel. That's all I'm going to say. Make your own decisions. You are adults, but that's why just be careful of this rejection here. Just be careful of this rejection. If it rejects, of course, I'm looking to fill it up cheaper than the low fours, right? Because this line here at the bottom of this channel, and all it takes is, you know, I know China news or something about rare earths in the news, and the stock will fly, no problem. But that bottom of our channel still puts us at what, 317 here? So I don't see it going that low. I'm not gonna say never, but I probably wouldn't. I will put some more money, real money behind it. And UAMY, there's probably real money still coming towards it. I'm just waiting right now. I've waited this long. I'll be all right. Let's see here. But yeah, but this is what I'm waiting for, this rejection, right? Now, if we get a parabolic move, there's some China news story, and I can't predict the future. Yeah, this thing could go parabolic pretty quick. And I'd probably look around $8, you know, for resistance right out the gate. Just easy math here. But when I'm not seeing the rejection right now, but just be careful. Just be careful. Or if you're a long-term holder, you know, sell some calls at the top of the channel, right? If I'm thinking we're gonna be bearish on a call right here, you know, I don't know what would you feel comfortable with being called away potentially, right? You know, $8-10, collect some premium on the way down. If it works out, maybe use the premium, buy a couple more shares, right? Who knows? But that'd be my strategy. I love UAMY. I think it just makes sense. You just got to make sure the stock makes sense because of the rare earth people, you know, retail traders, as you see, can take this stock to crazy levels, right? Crazy levels. But still looks good. Still looks good overall. You see the channel here. And actually, one thing I am going to do, I don't do it much here. Let's go to weekly. Let's go to 9 months. There's the weekly. That's UAMY in a weekly candlestick. You wonder why I like it. It's just so easy to trade. But also I see investment possibilities. But yeah, the rejection is up here, the top end of the channel. All right, wait, I don't see rejection yet. I'm not, you know, again, I don't have a crystal ball. But if we do start to see rejection here, just be careful because there's the bottom of the channel, right? And I imagine news with China and rare earths and all that stuff's probably going to affect this stock. So make sure, you know, if you are trading rare earths and stuff, you know, see what's going on with the restrictions. Here's Toast, trading at a premium, doing a whole lot of nothing, overvalued. But look what's happening now. Value's catching up, right? Value's catching up. The stock's always traded at a premium. Like I said, I've been in the restaurant industry for a while as a side gig. It's really good money. Look at this stock. I mean, it's just done a whole lot of nothing lately. Oh, I'm going to do a horizontal line. Actually, I put it right here. Gap up, filled the gap, broke it. It's doing a whole lot of nothing, but that value keep rising. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see here. Hopefully, stock will stall out, value catch up. Maybe stock will just go up. That would be the biggest help, I think, for this stock. If the fundamentals of the valuation can catch up, you know, stock's definitely had a breather, and then it can make its next move. We'll see. Here's Ricey. That thing is jumping. Let's go to 1 year. No, I don't like that line. I wouldn't be too concerned about it. It's still well above the 200, above the 20 right now. Looks like this was the pressure. Look at the growth rate. Just jumping, though. Growth rate was falling. Now it's turning around. Looks good. Yeah, you're paying a premium for it. But other than that, the stock looks good. We still got RV. Hey, like I've said, if stock is overvalued, one of the first things I like to look at is make sure at least the RV is above 1. You know, especially if you're going to be an investor, right? And if you're a trader, you get your money and you run, right? But if you're an investor, typically you're there, you know, through some of the headaches, right? And I definitely, if I'm going to go through some headaches, I want an RV above 1. This one qualifies. I like it. You know, I said that with Hood, Robinhood, and you know that took off as an overvalued stock. Here's TVTX, drug company. Price action looks good, but this valuation taken up. And look at RV. You know, again, I'm not a drug company expert. You know, I'm more tech people. But I like Toast too, penny-wise. If that value can go up a little bit in that channel of consolidation we saw, it naturally likes to trade at a premium. So I'd imagine just looking at the past to get a sense of what the future might hold. I'd say value catches up to it and might probably just jump back up, right? We'll see. But being in the restaurant industry, I can tell you right now, just about every restaurant uses their POS system. See here's Travere Therapy, but I like that valuation. Yeah, it's trading at a premium. And I'll be honest, the 20-day EMA looks like the place to catch this one right now for the most part. See a little bit of jump up here, but that value, look, RV above 1, that's interesting. See what they got going on here, but this good stock looks, other than the valuation, you see, but price doing a whole lot of nothing, value doing a whole lot of nothing. Price starts ticking up, value starts ticking up shortly after. Interesting play. But for a drug company, I do like the fact that RV is above 1. Let's see here. What is Alibaba? Just overvalued. Why do I want to get an overvalued Chinese company that could easily get caught in the crosshairs of tariffs or something? Who knows? That situation's got to go. I still like, the main players, undervalued ones. As far as Alibaba, though, I can tell you right now, we got a pivot coming off of this right here. Never really retested it until recently. But let's see some follow through back above that 20-day EMA before I'm too sold on this trade. Looks good so far. If I do a 3-month here, looks good so far. What was the top of the channel for UAMY for possible resistance? Yeah, I can take a look at that. Just say, actually, this is the last stock here. This looks good. See if the market gets it. I know with the China big cap ETF, looks like it was getting ready for a breakout. It's probably part of that ETF, I'd guess, Alibaba. I'm not quite convinced on it yet. Let's see if we can get above the 20. See if we get above the 20 here. But as far as value, the value's dropping. Growth rate's actually starting to roll over here. Micron, Nvidia, TSM look way too nice for me to want to jump in Alibaba. But as far as the trade, I do see a little trade set up. The confirmation hopefully coming soon. Interesting. Okay. I can see that. But still, that valuation dropping and growth rate and earnings dropping. We'll see. RV's below 1 too. So I'm going to stick more of a trade mentality with this. If it broke below this, I mean, you got a 200-day moving average, and look at the last 2 big pivots right there on the 200-day moving average, right? So this trade doesn't work out for you, not the end of the world. This one, I don't have a crystal ball, but if it does hit this, it worked out pretty well the last 2 times, right? Actually, last 3 times. Look, there's a third one right here. All right, let's go back to, let's just do a separate one here. We got a bunch of stocks here. UAMY. Top of this thing here, and like pulling back a little bit again, 664. Again, I don't have a crystal ball. Do not make financial decisions off anything I say. But the top of this channel here, roughly, because I have to make sure the channel is right, about $7, right? What was that today's high? $6.90. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right, everybody, look at that. Might be out of here a few minutes earlier. 7 minutes early. Not too bad. I'm going to get prepped up because today Thad is out for the holidays. I will be filling in for the community room when it comes to the power hour. So if you got some stocks, bring them. I'm going to try to hit as many as I can. We got about an hour to do it. And then I got to make my way over to the daily color guard report this afternoon. You guys enjoy your weekend. Bless you all.